Hello, it is World Wide Web Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. Steve Sipress here. And when you think of the World Wide Web, what's one of the most prominent, dominant websites in the whole history of the World Wide Web? Well, it's Google.com. And Google is in the news because yesterday, seems like so long ago, but I think it was just yesterday, that the United States of America filed an antitrust lawsuit against Google for all kinds of unfair practices and this and that and whatever, reminiscent of their constant attacks on Bill Gates and Microsoft back in the 90s. And so this could be a massive case, could amount to nothing, of course, but importantly, here's what it means for you and your businesses, or if you just have one business, and if you do any kind of search engine optimization, if you do any kind of Google pay-per-click ads, if you use Google Analytics or Google Sheets or Google Gmail or Google Docs or Google whatever, it's likely that I would say most business owners use Google in one way or another, even if it's just a search. It's pretty much the default, which is what brings on the lawsuit, that it's the dominant monopolizing all the search. It's even a word in the vernacular now to Google something. Like, hey, Google it. Not search for it on the internet, Google it. So there's some other search engines, but they're incredibly minor. Well, here's what this lawsuit and possibly a settlement or a big, long, drawn-out case of U.S. versus Google could mean for your business. Ready? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing to your business. And here's why. I mean, that was Google's response was like, oh, this is not going to help the consumers at all. Well, Sherlock, it's got nothing to do with consumers. Got nothing to do with you or me. Unless, well, I take it back. Unless for some reason you're watching this video and you happen to be a competitor of Google, that you do own one of the other competing search engines or you're starting one up yourself, well, then it could mean something to you, or you are a competitor with any other Google products. But as a user of Google, as an advertiser on Google, as someone looking to get their website ranking higher on Google, searching on Google, any of that stuff, not going to affect anybody doing any of that stuff. So that's the good news. Basically, in other words, pay no attention and just understand that's the political climate we're in now, that all the, Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube, they're all staunch left-wing anti-Trumpers, and it's 2 weeks before the election, so it's time for the pro-Trumper administration, the Department of Justice and Attorney General to grandstand and go, oh yeah? Well, since Google's trying to throw the election against Trump, and I would think they're doing a lot better job of it than they did last time, because they, of course, tried to throw it for Hillary, and they failed miserably, and they've been hating themselves for 4 years. So they're hoping this time that they somehow, by some miracle, are able to do it, although it doesn't seem likely. But they're trying the best they can. Well, you see the Trump administration Justice Department comes out and goes, oh yeah? Boom. And the, pro-Trumper politicians are like, well, we're going to call the heads of Twitter and Facebook in for to explain themselves in a hearing, and Department of Justice, we're going to sue Google and what, so typical political stuff. The left, the right, the left, the right, and who's left out of the whole thing as always? Us, the American people. We don't matter at all to either of these sides, to either of these parties, to any of these people. It's all just one big political grandstanding whatever is going on. So enjoy it, have fun, learn from it, watch it, be entertained by it. But good news, it will not affect anything you're doing in your business unless, again, you happen to be a competitor of Google. Those are the only companies that could possibly be affected by this. And that will do it for World Wide Web Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. I'll be back tomorrow. It'll be Throwback Thursday, and I will be throwing it back, teaching some business lessons along with a blast from the past. Thanks for being here today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.